Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today I want to give you very simple and very specific directions on how you can find BLM land. I know a lot of you are just starting out on your new adventurous life of being a nomad, and part of your needs is to not pay rent and to have that money and keep it in your pocket. And the way I suggest you do that is that you boondock on public land. Now, it's illegal to reside on public land, but what you can do is go and have recreation on public land. And that's what I'm doing. Right now, I'm on a piece of BLM land very near Tucson. And so you can do it too. I don't pay for rent because I do recreation on public land. Now, a lot of you have written me and said, well, that's all great, Bob, but how do I find this BLM land or this national forest land or whatever land I'm going to go and camp on and have recreation on? Uh, well, this is a simple tool that I have for you today called US Public Lands. And what it does, it's an app that will go on either your Android or your Apple phone, and it costs $2.99. It is a cost, but it's worth every penny, and I think every one of you who intend to boondock should own that and have it on your phone. And so when I want to go and find a place to camp that I haven't been before, and it's all going to be new to me, the very first thing I do is I get out my phone and I tap on US Public Lands and I find land, BLM land that I can camp on. And that's exactly what I've done here. So I have a friend who wanted to come and meet with me, and he's in the area now of Moran, Arizona. So I looked that up, and it's just a little bit north, maybe 15 miles north of Tucson. Well, I know there's a lot of BLM land near Tucson, and now I'm going to show you on the phone, I'm going to do a screen recording of exactly how I found this location and exactly how you can find BLM land anywhere. And it goes the same for national forest or any of the land, and I'll show you how you switch back and forth and you see which ones you want to see. So now let's fire up US Public Lands. I'll do a screen recording and you can see the exact process that I used, the problems I faced, the questions I asked, and you can do this too. It's simple and easy, and for $2.99, you never have to worry from now on, where am I going to camp?
Okay, let me show you how to use US Public Lands. This is my Samsung phone, but it will be almost identical on the Apple. There are almost no differences at all. And you can see the app right here. It's just a standard app, and I put it on my homepage. I use it often. And so when I tap on it, I get my I go to U.S. Public Lands. Now here in U.S. Public Lands, you'll see, I'm zoomed out, it starts out, you'll see a lot of colors here. Those are color coding for the different types of public land. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Just a standard, method of pinch and pull. And so you can see the vast majority of the West is this gold color. Well, what does that mean? What's the gold color? Well, to find that out, we'll go up to here. And up here on this corner, at the very top right, if I tap on that, then I see the Bureau of Land Management is gold. See the gold color there? So BLM land is this goldish color, and Forest Service is the greenish color, and National Park Service is the tannish and orangish, and so on. Now, they start to look alike. You can notice this Tennessee Valley Authority. It looks very similar to BLM, but there is no BLM land on the East Coast, and so it doesn't really matter if it's the same color because they can't. There's none there. Now down here on the bottom left, you see this show overlay and hide overlay. Right now, show overlay is tapped on, and if I tap on hide overlay, it goes away. There are times when you want to do that because the overlay, when you get in detail work, we'll see the overlay makes it harder to see the details. So I turn it on and off really frequently, and it's just as simple as tapping either one. So how do I find my next campsite? So there are two methods of finding your campsite. The first is if you're driving a pretty good long distance and you want to just type it in, go up here, and you can see in the very top right, I'm going around the search button. Tap on the search button, type in Seattle. Okay, I want to find I want to find U.S. public lands near Seattle. Search in Seattle, Washington. And now it's zoomed in, and there's Seattle. And it's showing me all the public land near Seattle. And so you can see there's a lot of national forest, which I knew there would be. And I don't even remember what these are. But there's a lot of it. There's the national park here. There's national forest around it. There's probably national seashore over. No, there isn't a national seashore. Okay, but this tan is national park in here. See, they're the same color. That's just an extension. So you can go to the national park and be on the coast. Okay, but that's not where so this is how you would do it. I would go to Seattle, and then I would start searching in places. I could look bigger. I can see all the Forest Service land around it. And here's the only BLM land down in Oregon around Bend. I actually know that country. So there's good camping down here around there, BLM land. And up here, it's going to be all national forest, which is, of course, what you'll be going on. I do happen to know in Seattle there is a ton of state parks, but this is not going to show you state parks. This is only U.S. public lands. Okay, but so there's another way. If you want to find where you're at and not drive far away, then you can tap on yourself. See, that's right here. When you tap on yourself, it goes to where you are, and this is me. You can see this is where I'm at camping right this minute on BLM land. You can see the BLM outline. Now, how did I find this? Well, I followed this exact same procedure. I went up to the search button here on the top in this menu bar, and I tapped on that, and I typed in Marana, M-A-R-A-N-A, Arizona, USA. I tapped on that, and it showed it to me. Now, I have a friend here in Marana, and I came to meet him. And so I knew I wanted to camp somewhere near Marana. Here's Tucson, and I'm pretty familiar with camping in Tucson, but I wasn't familiar with camping up north near Marana. I'd never camped up here before. Okay, so now I know this is where I'm going, and I can already see some yellow BLM land. I'll zoom in, and every time I zoom in, it will start to show me more BLM land. Again, I'm meeting a friend in Marana, but I wanted to camp on BLM land. So I zoomed in more near Marana, and look at all the BLM land around here. So, and I am camping there right now. That's where I'm shooting this. So all I had to do was type in Marana and look around, and here is BLM land. Now, the hard question is, can I drive to the BLM land? It isn't enough that it be BLM land. I have to be able to drive to it. Now, if you know Tucson at all, in the area north of it, and I do, you'll see Interstate 10 here, right? Interstate 10 runs from Phoenix all the way down into Tucson. Here's Tucson, the big city. And so I knew just from familiarity and looking at the map. Now, if you aren't familiar, then you just look at the map. This is Interstate 10. Right here, Interstate 10. What you have to find on Interstate 10 is an off-ramp. So I knew I wanted to camp over here. So what you'll do is you'll just pinch in. And there's a road that drives right through this BLM land. So I wanted to see, can I camp on this BLM land? So I zoomed in. I hide the overlay. See again down here. That's how I bottom, almost center, slightly left of center. And now I've got a road in BLM land very near Marana, and I know this should work. And so the more you zoom in, the better you can see it. Here's a problem. Maybe there's no open area next to it, and you don't know until you get there. Or maybe it's very sandy, and if I pull off the road, I'll get stuck. These are unknowns. You're not going to find that out just from looking at this map. And if you go sideways you get a better picture, but it's still not enough. And I just don't have the detail to know what exactly this is going to look like. And I tried to figure out what all these, you see these? It's saguaro. famous is Tucson is famous for its saguaro cactus, and that means this is going to be pretty because it is surrounded by saguaro cactus, and my goodness, it is very, very pretty here. So, and this is actually where I am. I just using this exact method. I drove down here, and that's where I am. And so I thought, well, this might be a campsite, and it looks like any of these areas are pretty vegetation free. Here's how you find out if you're going to get stuck on a campsite. I have four-wheel drive, but most of us don't. You drive your front wheels up into the sandy area, if you think it's sandy or muddy or whatever, and you get out and you look at them. And if they sunk in deep, you know you're in danger. They didn't. Mine didn't sink in at all. They sunk in a couple inches. You make sure while you're doing this that you are leaving your back wheels on the hard surface. They'll pull you out as long as they have good bite on a hard surface. And this isn't a great road, but it's perfectly fine. Anybody can drive on it. All right, so now I know, here's BLM land. Let me turn back on the overlay. And it's very near where I want to be, and there's a road. It's a named road, so it's probably a halfway decent road. Are there people living here? That's the next problem you want to know with BLM land. Does it have inholdings? Inholdings means that it doesn't look like there should be anyone living there. There should be any homes, but sometimes there are. And that means they're inholdings. They were on the BLM land before it became BLM land, and so it's excluded. It still looks like it's all BLM land, but it isn't. Now, if we look over here, there are a couple of homes here, and I've driven past them numerous times now, and I can assure you that I don't think there's anyone living there. They may come and use them as vacation homes. I don't think there's anyone living there, and I'm far enough away here, they can't see me or hear me or know about me. Now you can see the road comes down, it hits this road, but it doesn't go through. This is a canal, and this color means it's Bureau of Reclamation, I believe. So now I know that I can come here. This is South Way Out Road, and this is South Way Out Road. I just come down here, turn up here, and find a campsite. That's exactly what I did. So I still need to find a way to this road. So I'll just follow it north. So if I go up far enough, I'll see that South Way Out Road runs into East Missile Base Road. So now I have, but I know, and I also know that the I-10 is over here somewhere. So I'm going to have to go up here, turn left, and find I-10. All right, here's I-10. But there's not an off-ramp. And this is always a problem. There's not an off-ramp here. You look around, no off-ramp. There's no number. So now I have to search for an off-ramp, the nearest off-ramp, to decide if I'm coming from the south or to the north. In this case, I was coming from the north. I was coming from Flagstaff. So I'm going to scroll up until I find an off-ramp. Let me show you one of the very best things about U.S. public lands. As you're driving down the road, you can get real-time view of your movement on the map. I'm in the satellite view, and you can see me here in the blue, right? That's me. And you can see I'm moving down the road. I'm coming up onto the road that I want to go up. Let's scroll down here. There's the BLM land I'm heading for. So I know now that I am turning onto the right road. There's no guessing, there's no wondering. I know straight ahead of here is BLM land. So I pulled up on it, and you can watch me going down the road. Of course, you'd be watching yourself if you were using this tool to find your campsite. So again, the steps are super simple. You find the land, you backtrack to find a road, a good solid road, passable route out of the land, and then you know that's someplace for you to go and check out. So I just drove past the houses. I looked down. It's so thick here, I can't actually see the houses. I just get a glimpse of them every so often, but I know they're in there, and I've never seen any signs of tracks. I believe they're just kind of summer houses or vacation houses, because I've never seen tracks going in, and that's one of the good things about the desert is you see tracks pretty well. I am now on BLM land. I'm past the houses, and I can camp just about anywhere in here. Move the screen up. I can camp just about anywhere around here. So now it's just a matter of finding a place. It's dense. The greenery here in around Tucson is really dense. That's why it's such a popular place. It's very green for the desert. You'll see that in some of these videos. It has decent internet. Unusually here, my AT&T is far better than my Verizon. It's been adequate. Usually you're going to get some internet this close to a major freeway, US 10 right down the road. You can get far enough away that it will be weak, but it will be there. And my AT&T has been quite good. So now when you get here, you don't want to just pull off into the road and go in 20 feet and then sink and be stuck because it's sandy. And this desert is always sandy. So here's what I mean by testing the soil. Both of my tires are still on the hard-packed road. This is a hard-packed road. I'm not going to have any problem getting stuck on this. I think even if it rained, I could travel on this no problem. There are a lot of roads in Arizona. They're usually darkish, reddish, loamy looking that are impassable when wet, but this isn't one of them. So my rear tires are still on the road. No question, I'm not going to get stuck because my drive tires are on the road. And I've been in and out of here a lot of times now because I've been camping here for a while. But you can see my tire doesn't sink at all. It just barely leaves an imprint. And so that tells me I won't have any problem with getting stuck here. Let me know in the comments below where you've camped. Have you found a real pretty campsite? Do you want to share it? I'd like to know. Probably all of us would like to know. And so if you want to share your campsite, that's a good thing. And I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you.